In this stage, you'll add support for running external programs with arguments. Running external programs. So far, you've implemented built-in commands that your shell executes directly. Now you'll handle external programs that your shell needs to run and to find and run. When a command isn't a built-in, your shell should search for an executable with a given name in the directories listed in path. Oh, that's what we should implement, is a search function that basically searches for a file in path and then returns that. So then type can use that to basically get back a path buff, basically something about the file, maybe the metadata of it, maybe a dir entry, a dir entry probably would be better. But then we can use to get all the stuff we need to get. That would make the type command a lot simpler. If found, execute the program, pass any arguments from the command line to the program. For example, if the user types custom exe arg1 arg2, your shell should find custom path and execute in the path, execute it with 3 arguments, custom exe, the program name, arg1 and arg2. Because so they have a custom argument that just echoes out what the arguments are. Okay, so program name Alice. Oh yeah, because the 01 is the program name usually when you call something. Okay, that makes sense. The tester will run multiple commands and use a random number of arguments each time. Nice. So I think what we want to do for this is take what we have in type here. So everything that we're doing to find a file before we test it for this, that needs to happen in the utilities. So we need to sit here, we need to switch to here and do a pub function find file. We are going to have to take in the sort of the target file name. So really this is just going to be name, which can be a stir. And then we also want to take in the path, which is going to be a result vec path buff. But what did I put for you? Okay, so that's just path buff like that. Okay, so if we do that, we're going to have to return probably an option, right? Because if you don't find it, that's not a problem. But if you do find it, we want, what do you need? I think you need a dir entry, right? Yeah, we need a dir entry because that gives us a file name. So we need a read dir. We need a read dir because that gives us dir entries. No, okay, we just need a dir entry. That's all it is. We need a dir entry. So dir entry like that. Okay, so given a name and a path, is it a v-split? It is. I want to go to built-in types, and we can now sort of follow along with this. So we have our type input there, which we have here is name, because that's what we're going to use. We're going to just find the file name by essentially, I guess we're going to find the built-in command. Yeah, if it's not found, look there, search the path and see if we can find any executables. But here we're going to say our entry, we're going to grab it right here. So we do search, and I do like that we make this paths. So we're going to do our for path in paths. I'm rewriting this by hand instead of copying it over because there's some things that I care about keeping and some things that I don't. And also this is just sort of lets me continue to really ingrain this in memory and understanding. So the next thing we do here is we grab the dir entry. So we read the directory or else we continue with it, right? So that seems fine. So we're going to do okay. We have our read dir. So I'm going to change this to our just basically be variable of what this is. This is a directory, right? So this is our directory equal to standard fs read dir. We hand it the path. Otherwise, we continue. Okay, so now we have our directory. From the directory, we want to get a dir entry, and we loop through for this. So for dir entry in directory, and I'm calling it dir entry because some of these things that are in here are not just files. They could be directories themselves. So that dir entry feels correct in this case. Let okay equals dir entry. Okay, so we're shadowing dir entry by unwrapping it at this point. And I don't think I can like only get the okay ones, right? Because I can filter map. No, I don't think any of these things are what I want. So I think we shadow and then extract this out. So unless I just call let okay entry, but it's still a dir entry. So kind of like to do that. So dir entry. Otherwise, we're also just continuing. Okay, that brings us. So we've done this. So next, we want to get. We're checking this out. I kind of want to extract the file name separately. So let's get the file name, and really it's that the name equals dir entry file name of this directory entry without any leading. Okay, so I want that. Okay, so I have the file name. Since it actually is a file name, yes, I know we haven't returned. Let me throw a to do in here. What did I mess up? Oh, oh, you're there. There we go. That's what I messed up. Okay, so let file name dir entry equals file name unused variable file name. Okay, so now we have the file name here. I do want to check that at this point. So if the name is equal to file name. Now I wonder if it would let me, if they implement equal for this. Because if this is the case, then I can return early with an okay, a sum, and it's the dir entry. Ooh, okay. So no errors. So maybe I can get away with this. And if I get to the end here, we just return a none because we couldn't find it. So if that's the case, then everything here remains the same. So if it matches not found, then for path and paths, okay, so this, we are now going to let our file, our dir entry. Oh, and also file, I think, is a special word. So that's another reason why we can't use that. We're going to use find file. We're going to pass it the type input and the paths. That gives us an option here. So I probably want to sum this else if we don't find this, because we're not in a loop anymore. We're outside of a loop. So if we don't find you, we can do not found at this point. So we didn't find you, so we push not found, and we don't have you at all. Okay, that's great. That makes things nicer. We know that the file name matches. So basically at this point, I don't need this. We're going to get rid of this for loop 2. But until then, I just want to grab out what we do need. We already also sent this on up with, it's our previous entry. So I really don't feel bad about like making changes to this file because we could just grab it back from Git. The power of like actually using version control. Okay, so we have the file name, we're good there. But we do need to get the metadata. So we put this outside here. And if we can't get the metadata, okay, so if we can't get the metadata, what does that mean? It's a pretty big problem, but I'm not sure that we shouldn't just exit with an error code. Like maybe just echo error, cannot read file metadata when for that. And then we just exit 1. Wait, you can't find my exit? Let's see, create utilities, exit. I think that's it. Else, clause of let else does not diverge. Oh, because I need to quit out of this. Like I need to not do the rest of this here, but we're not in a loop. So it's like not like I can break. So I kind of feel like I just need to do an if let dir entry. We're going to have something like that. And then else goes into this. Okay. I like that a little bit more. You now go into here. So we have the directory. We get the metadata. We cannot read the file metadata. Exit code 1. Okay, excellent. We have the dir entry. So we're in this loop already. Okay, so we need to get the mode and check to see this. So that's next. Okay, so we've got our metadata. We get our mode for the file. We check to see if the user execs, and if they're not user exec, then I really hesitate. Oh, okay. So if we do this, I don't want to like do a go-to or something. That really sucks. But also it feels like that would be really helpful too at the same time. I don't want to use labels and go-to. Basically these are exiting here. We found this. I think I have to do if one of them is this, else, no, it just doesn't push at all. It's just, okay. So if we find this, then it is executable. We need to get the path, and then we need to do this. So we don't need you because it doesn't break, which means we don't need this for loop anymore. We don't care about you anymore. We don't care about you. Okay, so that does greatly simplify type. Let's see. No errors. So what's the chance that this still works? Let's find out. So type echo, that works. Type cat. Ooh, that works. Type exit. Not found. Oh, okay. All right. We have done the thing. So at least part of this is now done. I kind of feel that I want to commit this. So we refactored the, I guess like added, okay, so pulled find file logic out of type command built in and moved to a utility function. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so based upon that, search for an executable with the given name in the directories listed in the path. If found, execute the program. So this is just if I type in a command, right? So this is just a command type thing. So I can quit out of view. What do I find this? And oh, right. So this is just if not found, I attempt to run a custom command. So here we need to find to see if there is a find here. So if something is found. Now, do I want to have like another find where like find executable, which then I can pull even further, because that sort of feels like what I need to do is I need to find something and check to see if it's executable. And we already do that in type if it's executable, which means I need another utility for this. So instead of just find file, we're going to have find executable file. So pub function find executable file, which is going to use find file behind the scenes. So we'll have a name, which is a str. We'll have our paths, which is that. We'll do our entire option, dir entry. We start with let our dir entry equals find file, and we pass it the name and the paths, and we can question mark that to get rid of the option. because if it's not found, we just pass that on through. So now we have our dir entry. We can head back to our built-in type, and we need to get the metadata for this. Oh, we need to do this. So hold on, let's do our split again. Need to head back to utilities, dir entry, find file. Okay, so I need to get this dir entry. I can do this. Oh, find file. Oh, wait, so I already have it. So I don't need to do it. Okay, so we have that. I question mark this. So we're at this point. So I need to get the metadata. And the metadata is okay, but I think I can convert this to an option and then question mark that. So I think we're going to be fine here. So we want our metadata to be dir entry, get the metadata. Okay, converts from a result to an option. And then I just question mark you. And now I have metadata. And it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so that gives, we now have our metadata. I want to get the mode. So at this point, we have you, and I want to grab you, throw you in right here. So we have our mode, group exec that, and then I check here if group exec equals that. Okay. So if user exec and group exec and other exec, we're going to return a sum dir entry. Else, we're going to return a none. Okay, so that means, I think it's that one. Yeah, I think that's that one. So let's this is now find executable file. I don't need to check this if anymore. Okay, so basically we get you, let path buff equals, okay, so we get the path buff, we get the string, we figure that out, we push you into there, and we do that. Okay, so you all are happy now. Okay, so find executable file in our library now, right? In our library now, if we're not found, we want to let if let some, this is our dir entry. So really this is executable, right? So if our executable equals find executable file, we need the name, so that's the command string, and we also need the path. So if we find that, if it's an else, it's you all. And if it's you, we want to execute it. And that's going to be, let's see, how do we execute you? There is a standard process, spawning interactive with child processes. Let's see, there's something that could run. I don't think it's, oh, that's our command. Standard process, a process builder providing fine-grained control over how a new process should be spawned. I mean, that looks right. So command new command with args that, okay. So process new command new, and then the program. So program, the program. Okay, so the name of the program, which is going to be, do we want to get the name there, or, I mean, we kind of already have the command string, don't we? So command string, because it's in our path, and we know it's in our path. So I think we're fine. So now we're gonna give it args eventually. Is there something that allows me to just spawn this? Okay, so execute this, returning a handle to it. Okay, so if I just spawn you. Okay, right now I'm not doing anything. Oh. Right now I'm not doing anything with this, but I actually don't even know if I need that. I just need to know that it's found. And it might be a good idea for me to do the full path to it eventually. But I kind of wanted to just check to see if this works with something really simple. So obviously if I do ls for this, that's fine. If I do cargo run, and then I just do ls, So type ls is that one, right? So if I do ls, ooh, that just works. And easy. Okay, so I can now run these. Perfect. I need to get the path to that. I think if I get the path, it would be better. So path is equal to, all right, I'm running out of time here. Want the executable, give me the path. I wonder if you'll be able to handle this. You don't say you can't. So if I do ls, oh, that still works. Perfect. And then regardless of this, I kind of do want just an empty print line. Just so that way, I think I get the new, oh, I don't get the new prompt after that. I had to do an return. I don't know what that's about. So that doesn't work there. I wonder if it's because I'm not handling the result. And I don't know if I don't know if spawn is the right thing too. This is probably for longer running things, right? I guess if I unwrap, that gives me the child, but I don't know if I care anything about it. Yeah, it doesn't give me back to my shell immediately afterwards. Also, I could do a print line here. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's putting the $sign before all this stuff, which is not necessarily what I want. All right, I think I got everything the right size. I did commit everything that we did yesterday, so in a work in progress commit. So we should be able to continue exactly where we left off. I know you left off a little bit early. We didn't quite get everything done for the running external programs, but we got really close. So first off, I am curious if I've actually got things in a working state or if there's errors. So let's try cargo run. Oh yeah, technically it is working. Okay, so I can run ls, and that does run. So the external commands thing is working. It's actually following the path and doing all the cool stuff. The negative here is it doesn't release me back into the shell. So I'm not 100% sure, or actually that might not be true because there's a $sign before it, isn't there? That's the $sign of the new shell, isn't it? And that's the return of this. Is this, that makes me wonder, are we talking about like an async type of thing here? Maybe where we print the prompt, we do this thing, but then it goes back up to print the prompt before the results are done. I wonder if that's the case. Now I get this result and I'm really curious, what is result? Simultaneously waits for the child to exit and collect all remaining output on the standard out arrow handles, returning an output instance. The standard in handle to the child process, if any, will be closed before waiting. Oh wait, so is that exactly it? So I just need to wait and we get child standard in. Now I'm curious. This isn't, yeah, okay. So I'm getting a child. I'm not having to do any kind of like async, so I'm not getting any kind of future or something like that from this. I am unwrapping here, which doesn't seem like that's what I want to do. I think what we want is to run external command somewhere else. But until then, we can just throw this in here, and we'll just refactor this at the end once we have it working. So what if I do an if let OK result equals that? We now have our result. Why are you? Okay, I got confused by the coloring there. Okay, so it's just the result that is underlined here. That's fine. I want to. Oh, there's also wait. Waits for the child to exit completely, returning the status that it exited with. This function will continue to have the same return value after it had been called at least once. Okay. Wait with output. Does this not? Okay, so I think I can just do wait. And if I do wait, I wonder if I can get away with, instead of having this be an if let, what if I do this as just a let okay equals this. I'll have this be an else here. And so if it's an else, we don't really need to do anything, but we're eventually going to have probably a non-zero here, because this is us failing to run it at all, as opposed to the thing that we called running, because we'll get that later. So here we're just going to continue. But here we now have the result of the process. So I can call this child process result maybe. It's not really a result. So the process child, I can now do a let okay. This is the result, not what I wanted. So process child, we wait. That's a method. That returns an exit status or an error. Again, if we don't have this, we'll just continue. Now that we have our exit status, I could print out what that exit status is, which I don't see a reason why not. So what if I do an echo result dot code, unwrap or default? Okay. Oh, that's a method. Okay. On type option i32. Oh, I didn't call it as a function. Okay. Cannot borrow process child as is not declared as mutable. Process child needs to be mutable apparently. Okay. So there's no errors, which means I should be able to cargo run this, do my ls. There we go. That's what we were hoping for. We do the ls, we get all of our stuff out, and we had a 0 exit code. So I don't actually care about this right now. And I'm just going to underline that so that it doesn't yell at us later or now. And we're not handing it we're not handing anything. So if I try to like ls source, it ls's everything. Normally, if I were to do an ls, I can do ls src and it ls's within that. So the arguments are important. Now I have a list of the arguments, don't I? Here. So I have my builder. So before spawn, I want adds multiple arguments to pass to the program, adds an argument to pass to the program. Only one argument can be passed per use. Ooh, okay. So what if I do something like this? I don't want to spawn this yet. So what if I take you? So before the spawn, we're going to need, I think this is going to be mutable. This is going to be our command equals to that. And then we want the arg, which is going to be the name of the thing that we called, which is the command string. And you can be anything, can't you? But you're going to have to be similar to what I put in everything else, aren't I? Uh-oh. No. We've gotten one of these per day. Around the same time, so I bet there's a bot that's watching for people going live and then waiting for like 10 minutes or so, and then putting that in there. But we don't need that. Okay, so command new, we have the path, we have the argument. The first argument is going to be the executable, the command string. And I wonder if I can get away with a stir. So if I do that, and then I want to loop through the arguments and run arg on that. So now, can I do args after that? Oh, adds multiple arguments. Okay, so I can do the first one and then this one next. So args, and then I just want to pass in, let's see if I can pass in arguments. That's not what I wanted. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Come on, stop. Because I have you here, right? Wait, do I not have the arguments? Oh, I don't have the arguments in not found. That's the reason why I can't do this. So you have to go to not found and add in command arguments. And not found, command and arguments. Okay. Let's see. Not found, command, arguments. That should make you a little bit happier. We have our vec of strings. I want, just one down from that. Okay, and then we continue on from here. So command from this. What are you upset about? Oh, apparently it doesn't need to be mutable. Cool. Oh, Temporary value dropped while borrowed. So I can't do the new arg. Oh, fine. And then it needs to be mutable again. There we go. Okay, that makes you happy. So I just have to do this appropriately here. If matches, built-in command not found, and I don't care about each of these things, then we're good to go there. Okay, just a warning, we're not using any of these things. We are good to go. So now, if I do an ls, nope, I need to do cargo run first. If I do an ls, we ls, no file or directory. How does this work? Pass any arguments from the command line to the program. For example, if the user types custom exe arg1 arg2, oh, yes, that's ls, arg1 arg2. Your shell should find the custom path execute with three arguments: custom exe, arg1, and arg2. Will then send a command that you need to execute. So custom exe alice program was passed two args, including the program name. How do I do that? arg0 is the program name, but how do I actually pass in arg0? Because if I pass in, wait a second, when I do child process, is that automatically already passing in arg0? I'm really curious now. To solve this, we are going to create a little shell script. Actually, oh, okay. I don't think that they have all the things here. So what if I touch, ooh, this isn't my path. What's an example in my path? I have a bunch of like NVM stuff. Do I have anything in my, okay, users, Brookcircle bin. I can put stuff in there. So, okay, so I have some Rust stuff in here. If I, let's just helix a echo args.sh, we'll just bash this, make it a bash script, and then we'll echo $0. I should do like colons between them, maybe $1, maybe something like that. I vaguely remember there is a dollar where I can get all the arguments, but I forget what that is. Okay, but if I do that, I then chmod plus x. Actually, we can also test our other thing out here. Oh, is that dollar dash? Dollar at? It's something like that. I haven't done it in years and years and years, so I don't remember what it is. I want to, what are you? So you're 644. So if I do chmod, let's do this as everyone. How about me? I can do that. So that becomes 744 echo args. So it's executable to me. I can now do echo args, and we'll just say hello. Aha, it does have, okay, so it does have this added into it as the first arg. So that's the 0, which makes me think, so echo args.sh is what I'm interested in now. So if I cargo run echo args.sh and then hello, what? You're supposed to be able to find this from my path, aren't you? I'm betting it's adding it in for me by default, though. That's what I'm guessing this is. I don't think, because the way I've set this up, if I do like a / or something like that, it won't auto find what I'm trying to execute because that's still not in my path. Type echo args. Yeah. If I try to echo args.sh, oh, that works from here. Oh no, is it not? It's not finding it because my logic for, I'm really worried that the reason this isn't finding it. So echo args.sh. Yeah, it wasn't finding it because it needs to be ors instead of ands, I think, in the logic. Let's find out where that was. That was not built-in type. That was utilities, find executable file. These need to be ors. Okay, not quit. Okay, let's try this again. And I want to do just chmod that back to you. Come on, bring me there. Cargo run. We will echo args.sh. Hello. User berserker bin echo args.sh. Echo args.sh. Okay, so it actually passes it in for me automatically. So that's not something I need to worry about. So me doing this is actually wrong. I don't need to do that args. I can do this args like this. And then I think it should work the way we expect it to. So echo args.sh, hello, and we get that, which means I can now do ls source, and it looks inside of there. I can do, I don't think I can do echo because like echo's a built-in, so it's going to choose that first, even though I'm, yeah. Okay, so I would have to think about other ones to do, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. This seems to be working so far, so I'm happy about that. So let's commit this. All right, so this is can run an executable that isn't built in, and arguments are passed in. Now, a little bit of refactoring, because this live.rs, this was fine when it was just me saying, hey, command not found in here. But now that we have this like find executable file, I mean, I'm okay with us finding the executable file and then maybe calling something else, but I don't think we should do all of this stuff. And so I'm thinking we could do something in built-in. If I do something in built-in, I probably want to like have a built-in be run external executable or something like that. So let's do something like that. So source, built-in commands, run external, executable, and we're gonna have a pub function, run external, executable. What do we care about in here? We know we need something. Oh, we need the executable name. So the name is a stir, and we need the arguments, which is, I think, string. It'd be even better if they were stirs, but I'm not actually sure that they are. And I don't need to return anything. Okay, so then this one, I think I can just copy paste. I don't think I need that one anymore. We just take all of you. Right, so now instead of continue, this will now be just an early return. Okay. We need the executable. The executable is a dir entry. So instead of name, we just need the executable, which is a dir entry that gives us the path. We need the arguments like that. Okay, let's call this. What was that? Run external executable. Okay, so if you're that, we're gonna run external executable, and we're gonna pass in the executable, and we're gonna pass in the arguments, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, okay. I was afraid of that. So that has to be strings. So it's a slice. It's an array slice of strings, and then I do need you to be a reference here. That's fine. Okay. And I think everything works the exact same way that it did before. So if we cargo run you, we can do ls source, we can do ls target, we can just do ls, we can do echo hello, and we can exit. So everything should still work the exact same way that we expect it to. So we should be good. All right, so it's refactored main library to call a function to handle running external executables. All right, and let's push this and see how it goes. Line does not match expected value. Oh no. Expected arg0 was the program name and received arg0 as the fully qualified program name. Ooh, that's Spawn. That's Spawn doing this to us. And it makes me wonder, is there a way for us to sort of change that behavior? Ooh, I don't know. Oh, arg0. Set executable argument. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, so I can set the arg0 here, which does mean I need the name of the executable. So we need executable file name, I think, which makes me wonder, can I get away with just handing it an OS string? Like, could it figure that out? I mean, it seems to believe that it can. Let's find out if that's actually the case. So if I cargo run this again, and we do echo arg.sh hello, and the answer is no. File name is still that. Oops, sorry. But it's not like I forgot to save it. What if I just say, what if we just do something like that? Some garblygook. Yes, I know, you're not being used. Echo args.sh. Oh, okay, so it's not being taken. That's the problem. Command.arg0 is not actually taking. Well, that explains why it didn't seem to work. Why is command arg0 not working here? Let's see. It takes an arg, which is s, sets the first process argument to be something other than the default executable path. Does this need to be something like that? I mean, I guess we probably don't need the .sh. Oh. Well, no, not exactly that. Okay, arg0. Oh, it returns a command, but it's mutable self. I'm suddenly now wondering, should I be shadowing command and just doing something like command equal? I wonder if mismatch types. Oh, because yeah, you got lost here. Oh, I wonder, what if I do this? Command, I remove you, I dot you. There's no field. Oh, I don't need a command. Ooh, okay, that might work. So maybe I can only do that in one go? No, that didn't work. I still got the hello. So I got these args, but not this arg. That's so weird. We have arg0, which takes in an s. Oh, wait. S. Do you need to be the same thing as the other ones? So instead of a stir like this, do you need to be a string? No. Okay, that wasn't it. And I doubt it needs to be a vector or something like that. What if I just don't have the arguments? What if we just do arg0 like this? No. Okay, that doesn't do anything either. Maybe it's time for us to go look up documentation. So Rustlang, is there Rust by example? And there's argument parsing, but that's not the same thing, right? That's the command into. Ooh, wait, child processes. Okay, so command new sleep, arg5, spawn, unwrap. Ooh, but that's not including arg0. It's just arg. Ah, okay. Well, we figured out the wait thing. Have I considered asking the AI overlords? I guess we could. Although these days, doing a Google search is asking the AI overlords, isn't it? The main system. Now, the problem here is when I do echo args, I'm still getting this. Why am I getting the fully qualified path when I'm trying to set it to anything other than this? Which makes me think that I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, clearly that is a thing. Okay, so Rust by example didn't help me. Maybe the standard library we can go take a look at. I want command. Now we're using, this has arg and args. I don't see an arg0 in this. That's interesting. Oh, weird. Okay, so if I do new constructs a new command for launching the program at path program with the following default configuration. No arguments to the program. Inherits the current process environment directory. The working directory. Inherits standard in, standard out, standard error for spawn or status. Right, because it's going to be on the builder. We could do raw arg, potentially, if we have to. Let's say environment variables. I don't need to do anything with that. Okay, so if we do new, okay, so new just gives us this command. Wait, where does arg0 come from? It's a trait method. Sets the executable argument. Sets the first argument argv0 to something other than the default executable path, but okay, so it's a trait that we run off of command. Okay, that's good to know. arg0 is set by the libc, but why? So if it's set by libc, why would it still have something that allows me to try to set this? I mean, I have access to you, right? Like, this would error when compiling if I couldn't actually run it. Is command ext a runner? How would I know that? It's a trait. It's a Unix process trait. Does it run things? How would I find out if it itself runs things? Because command, when it spawns, I mean, this is all I get. Okay, sorry, Diablo. I don't know exactly what you're going for there, and therefore it's like, I don't know. Process. Okay, so you're looking at process. Let's take a look at process. Are you doing standard process? Okay. So first off, let's double check what command we're using. So we are using OS Unix process command ext, and I am using standard process command. Okay. It has been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah. But I took like most of this year off, so I don't know. We could just count it as 1.25 years or something like that. Several methods of command such as response, output, handle the IO. I don't care about that. Windows argument splitting, but I'm not on Windows. Neither is what they're running on. They're running on Unix, from what I understand. Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't see. Well, okay, so arg0 is in a trait, command ext. Command ext is a method off of command that we can get here because it's a trait method. So it's a trait implementation, which sets the executable argument. That's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to set the arg0 to be anything other than the actual fully qualified path to the script that I'm running on. So if I run this as echo args.sh, I want it to just be echo args.sh. That's what I want. Mostly because that's what the test wants. And then Asitsu, yeah. So the goal. So we'll start over with what we have. We're running this on CodeCrafters. We have a shell that we've been building with Rust, and we have the ability to call external application or executables from our shell. So I have a script in my path on my system called helloargs.sh, and all it does is it echoes out $0 $1, and I want that to print out not the full path. I just wanted to print out echo args.sh, and the reason for that is because in the test it wants to call, so it runs my program, and then in my shell it runs custom exe 7059 Emily. Program was passed 2 args, including a program name. It then prints those out. So arg0 program name is temp al custom exe 7059, but it wanted this. It did not want the path. That's the problem. So it just wanted whatever was passed in as the command. That's maybe not what happens when I call something else. Like if I come to my normal shell and I do echo args and I call, like I do hello, I mean, in real life, this is what I get. Like the shell actually passes this, which makes me wonder, is this no, it can't be an environment problem because it's still running on their system, right? It's running as their user. So it's nothing that's in my system that's causing this. Why don't you trim the string? Well, the problem is I'm actually attempting to set this to just some nonsense here. Just to say like, hey, this is what we're trying to set it to. I've been adding like just weird things randomly to try to get it to work, but I'm trying to set the arg0 to be just whatever, and maybe that would work. But echo args sh. Regardless, I still get this instead of whatever I'm trying to set it to. That seems to be the problem. Right, but trim only is going to trim off the white space, and I don't think that's the problem. Yeah, that's the next thing is like when it comes to like the shell, ZSH does do it exactly the way it's being done. So I think Rust is doing it correct. You need to send to run exactly what the user wrote, which I'm trying to do. Now I'm doing this because I'm trying to like set that. Now I could do name dot. See, there's a stir. So to stir. Let's just unwrap it. Nothing bad happens from unwrap. Okay, so if I try that, then we can add the other one in here too. So args, I think I can just do arguments because already. Okay, so if I do that, yeah. So I'm still getting this out. Now if let's see, can I to stir unwrap? Let's just echo out the name. What did I do? Okay. I screwed something up. Oh God. How did I make this so bad? What did I do? Okay, so I echo that out. Name, you don't have a to stir anymore. Temporary value dropped. Fine. So I get file name like that. Let's just shadow it. Okay, you're happy there. So now it should echo out whatever it thinks that I'm doing. So echo args hello. Yeah, so this is the name that I'm getting out is echo args.sh. That's what I'm doing. Forget arg0. New takes a string, I can write ls, and the libc resolves, which is from my path. You're resolving ls to bin ls and sending bin ls to new. Who wants to bet money on how long? Well, okay, yes, I understand that because ls is my path. I don't think it's the dir entry. If the command should run something in different machines, I keep thinking the whole path should be more ideal. So yes, the whole path is ideal. Like, this is correct. This is what it should be. The test, unfortunately, doesn't want that because look, they are running this somewhere and they have their function in temp al custom exe. We can check. Yeah, look, they export path to temp al path. So temp al. They're literally putting their command somewhere else. So it has to be what the user wrote, period. It happens in every shell. Well, wait a second. It happens. So in my shell, so this is my shell. This is not my shell. If I do echo args hello, this is what I get out. And if we take a look at echo args, this is just all I'm doing here. So I'm just doing $0, $1. Echo args hello is giving me the full path. And this is ZSH. Well, correct or incorrect, that's less important than this is what's happening. So I don't think we can say this is what happens in every shell because this is currently what's happening in my shell. Is the user entering an executable and lets the shell locate it, or is the user entering absolute paths? Let's ignore what my program is doing because we've created a simple, like the simplest possible recreation outside of my program, and it has the same behavior right here. it's because the path. That's why you get the full path. I wonder if it's because you didn't run bash as POSIXly correct. Possibly, but their one is getting the same problem, right? Okay, but let's try it. So let's do bin sh echo args foo. That works. If I do bin bash echo args foo, we get that. Bin zsh echo args foo, we get that. Yeah, that's okay. A little bit, that feels odd, but okay, good. Now I was doing this command process new. Should I do something like bash? Should I do something like sh? That feels a little bit odd to do something like sh for this. Output the contents of path. There's a bunch of ways we could do that. I want to try this first to see, like, okay, if I don't do arg like that, I would do command.arg. It's going to be the name and then the arguments. Yeah. And we could do printf debugging. I could do another command here. Also, I have our path. We're not using this. Why am I not using this? Okay, just some warnings. We're fine with that. Okay, so if I do something like echo args.sh hello, now it works as expected. It works as expected because I changed to sh. Yeah. Wait, did I do path before? Oh, I was doing something silly, wasn't I? Okay, you're right. I was doing something silly up here. So I want to get the name here. And I pass in the name here. I don't need that. I don't need that. Except that didn't work. What is the output of file name? Sure. We'll do file. No. Quotes, please. File name. Okay, so if I do that, that should echo out what the file name is. I want to echo args. Okay, so our file name is echo args.sh like this. If it is fully resolving it, you cannot use it. You're also resolving it twice because the libc and or OS is resolving it. We could do the sh trick, which only then works if we're not running on Windows and we're running on some kind of Unix type system, which is fine. Also, it requires us to have, sh. Don't use any tricks. Right, I just have to figure out how to not use the trick. So here, we have the name, which we know is just the name of the argument. I'm passing in the name to command new. I'm echoing that out, and then I'm handing the arguments, which is just the things added onto it, like hello. Yes, I built my own shell. It simply calls out to another shell, but I totally wrote it. Do you all remember during like the height of the rebuilt it in Rust? If you checked like half of the things that were rebuilt with Rust, that's literally what was happening. You think it's because you're on OS X. So if we're on OS X, okay, let's try this. Simple way to experiment with this. If we push this up, this should pass because they're not running on OS X, but it's not. Okay, so custom exe, David, file name. Okay, so custom exe. Oh, my echo broke it, so it might work. Okay, so what happened here? So it set everything up, compiled it all, custom exe 55033 David, 4 args, including the program name, custom exe. Okay, so that's the expected. It then did it again with cat, copy, make dir. Okay, no, it did the types. Type my exe not found. It expected my exe is the full path, but it did not get that. Okay, so this is a different issue. So we have a regression now. Oh, that lasted over 10 years. That's a great amount of time. So you ran OS X for a year, forced yourself to, I think I've told you this, So you vaguely remember this, where programs echoing their own arg0 were unusually verbose in a path. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, this is OS X being, well, okay, is this a Unix versus Linux thing, or is this an OS X versus Unix thing? Because also we have like the Linux versus Unix versus OS X, like that, all of them are sort of melded together. And now I'm curious. So if we search for in Unix, echoing out $0 or arg0, full path, or just name. I'm hoping the AI thing answers. Okay, so that would, to get the full path, you can use a command like readlink f0. So I wonder if that then is okay. So it's then a Mac thing. Cool. This is like another one of those like weird things where Mac is just sort of like different for no real reason. Linux is not a Unix because they don't pay the trademark. It is POSIXly correct. Okay, that's good to know. I think like it's not Unix, it's BSD, which is not Unix, but it is kind of Unix because it's POSIXly correct, as you said. Yeah, OS X does have a lot of weird shit that it does for no reason because they decided to do that. I bet they don't even know why they did it because it's now been so long that it's like, well, we decided to do this for some reason and we're now too scared to change it. Or there's just not enough, testing time to change everything. OS X is not BSD. I vaguely remember hearing that it was based on BSD, but yeah, maybe not. It's been way too long since I looked into that. Okay. All right. So OS X is a mock kernel that was written, mangled by the Next Step guys, welded to a BSD user land. It does not implement a BSD. Oh, right. That's what it is. It's sort of like based on if you wink and you narrow your eyes enough. Like if you make your eyes bad enough, then it looks like it. That's what that's vague. That vaguely reminds me of conversations I've had in the past with when I was a sysadmin. Okay, so we got this working. We can fix you. We have none of you, but built-in type is now not working anymore. So what's the problem here? So we built-in type. If it doesn't find it, it finds an executable file. It finds the dir entry, path buff, dir entry, path. We get the path. We push that in here and not found. Okay. And that's not working. So if I do type ls, type cat, type echo args, that's correct, right? That's what it's supposed to be. And what did I get? Do I have to reload? Was that type myexe? It was supposed to be this. Temp fox myexe, myexe not found. Available executables, myexe. Path is now that, but it didn't find it. Huh. I don't know what to say, Asitsu. It's I don't know. I don't know why things work the way they work. Also, you're using bash. So I'm using ZSH, but then whenever I run write scripts, I just fall back to bash because that's what I was a sysadmin for 8 years. Yes, I was an Apple sysadmin because I worked on the Apple team. But that, I don't know. I'm one of those people that I'm like, I love a lot of stuff that Apple does. I am very much willing to talk about all the shit Apple does too. That wrong behavior. All valid scripts should be binsh and be POSIX only. Avoid bashisms on scripts that much work. Doubly so if it's ran in prod. Yeah. I just use bash now. I don't know why I use sh for some stuff. It might have been because I was running a lot of stuff that was on weird Mac stuff where I was like not sure if they had like weird sh thing. Oh no, because sh was there was weird shit that was happening. Also, I probably forgot after so many years. So yeah, that's my bad. Let's see. My XE is this. It did not find it. I think what I need is to print out the path that it's checking. Because, okay, it's setting the path to this. If I, let's see, type echo, echoes that. I echo this. Can I also echo the path? I have paths up here. So if I just echo, can I get away with that? No, path buff doesn't work. Okay, paths. Nope, don't do that. I can do vec this. Sure, why not? Because it needs to be a string because of the things that I've done with it. Okay. I could echo out where I'm searching for stuff, but I think that's going to cause it to fail. Yeah, he has the script in his path and is blindly executing it not by fully qualified path. Yes. Which I could do. We could do that and get the full path to it and then go. So basically we're getting here to not found. So find executable file. Oh, because it might be something like this again, where it doesn't think that it's executable. So we first find the file. So it makes me curious if we found this. But we don't actually know that we found the file. So all we know is that the end result is not found. It found makedir, it found copy. It was supposed to find temp box. How do I want to debug this? Because like there's a bunch of ways to go through this, but I need to recreate this first. And I am not 100% sure. Okay, what's your debugging test failures here? I can turn on debug mode. You can enable debug mode by editing CodeCrafters YAML file. Yes, I know we could do that. If I could do standard out. Okay, so I can print to standard out. Maybe that's what we do. If we print to standard out, then we should be able to find this. So if in find file, okay, this is gonna be pretty bad, but I only have to do this once, is I just want to check to see if it's finding the right path. So if I print line, and I'm curious, can I just debug print this? I can't. Okay. I don't have any other echo. You're fine. What did I do? Oh wait, entered X mode. Sure. Go to visual mode. Oh my god. Stop. Quit. Exit. Thank you. All right. What did I want to do? I get commit am. I wanted to debugging path for finding files. Not going to be fun. There's going to be so much stuff. Did I put quotes in here? I feel like I missed a quote. And let's find out what this looks like. I never got that far into shell scripting to do crazy stuff like that. I always kept my stuff really simple. I've set up shell check and a couple things. I don't know if I have it set up in Helix, but that would be pretty cool. Damn it. ePrint line is still showing this out. Okay. So basically, we have our path, temporat, and of course, that's what it's looking for here. Oh, okay. So ePrint line doesn't actually work it because it's checking for standard and error out, or standard error and standard out, which is not what I want at all. I was hoping that they'd only be checking for standard standard out instead of standard error. And since it's a random test, it's really hard for me to like do any like, hey, if it's this test, go ahead and like print this out, but only afterwards. So it is my exe twice. Temp fox. Okay, so it is the second time around that we found this. I wonder if there's a debug thing that we could do to look at the path. We could, before everything runs and before it starts checking stuff, we might be able to print out the paths. So maybe in lib. So we have our path where we get the path. I could just loop through this here. So path dot iter for each. We have path. I need to turn this into bash. Okay, so language server bash, language server config bash hide shell trick arguments. Oh, cool. I we'll need to check that out. Get shell check running on Helix for us. Although I don't do too much in shell scripts, not anymore. Let's see. Okay, for each path. Oh, it just does work. Oh, nice. I need to. Well, okay, we can just echo, and then I think I can just I need to format it, and let's just echo that. So I'll just do a line for each path as it goes down at the beginning of running this, and we'll just sort of see what the path is. And I can add in something like path like that. Expected to stir. Oh, that. Sure. Yes. Excellent. Printing all paths at begin when shell launches. All right, let's see what it thinks our paths are for each of these tests. Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. It needs to be just a single. Okay, so but we are getting temp B, user local cargo bin, user local S bin, user local bin, user S bin, user bin, and S bin. And that was, they only gave us B, so that theoretically is right. But of course, nothing else worked. Okay, so I don't want to do this as for each. I actually just want to echo. Okay, I think we can do this. So maybe this should work. Okay, let's see what this says. Let us, okay, so this is not the right place for this debug either. I need to apparently put this, I think since we're testing built-in type, I think I need to put it after each echo because it's searching for the thing. That's not right either. I need to put you there. Okay, so let's put the paths that we see here. And then instead of path, this is paths. Okay, you're happy. Let's see if this works any better. Okay, so they do type cat. Cat is that. Then we get the paths. Oh, man. I was hoping that they would check just the first one, but they checked the last thing out. Oh, does that mean I can put... So expected prompt. So they did type cat. Cat is that. Pass equals this. Expected $sign. Oh, no, they're expecting $sign after everything was done. Okay. This isn't the right place to put it. In library, maybe after, no, because they want the $sign again. I can't put it, can I put it immediately after print the prompt? Maybe? No, because that's looking for these paths. I mean, it is finding temp cow as one of the paths to go in. Huh. Debugging this because it's like, this feels like debugging like a GitHub Actions type thing, which sucks. So so it's not finding a file. Let's just double check and walk through that we're doing things and I'm not like exiting out incorrectly. Basically, if we find the file name and it matches, then we're returning early. Otherwise, we're not returning early and returning a none. But it should be checking all of the paths here, right? Like let's just print line this. If I just say, didn't find didn't find file, didn't find name in any of the paths, maybe we'll get past that. Okay, we get past a few of these tests now. Okay, so didn't find type. Okay, so type my exe, not found, but we didn't. Okay, so this tells us we successfully found the file, but it probably didn't think that it was executable. So what am I doing? Mess around with that. So file name is not executable And then what if I have just user exec, group exec, other exec? Okay, so if I do this, that should print out, which already like we're expecting it to fail. So debugging, see, executable not found due to not being executable, which is kind of working for most of our stuff, but maybe not this one. Yeah, okay. So my exe is temprat my exe. File my exe is not executable, false, false, false. So it thinks that it's not executable, and that's the problem. I get the mode out of here, so I can just add in the mode. I could have given a lot more information in that debug message. Okay, so the mode is 33188, but this is a U32. Oh, I need to convert this into octal, right? There's a way to do that in ePrintline. It's like O mode or something like that. How do I print as octal? Just :O. Yep, you're right. I found it exactly at the same time you got it. So I want to do that. Okay, so when debugging file permissions, printing mode in octal. It isn't executable, right? But yeah, it's 644. It's looking for my exe, but it's 644. Yeah. Okay. Well, this seems wrong. Shouldn't. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. It'd have to be a 7, right? Like this is 6. This is just read and write, and then read. So read, write, read. There's no executable bit at all set on this. No. It's not trying to execute it. The test is running type my exe. It wants me to find it, but it's also not executable. So I can't help but feel that this is a bug in the tests, which man, I hate that. Now, this is just back to locate executable files, right? Because if I show these again, because that's what this is, right? These are just tests for running tests for stage 5, load executable files. So that's what this is. Check if it has execute permissions. If the file exists but lacks execute permissions, skip it and continue to the next directory. I missed that. So the problem is I'm finding the first file that exists, and if it doesn't have execute permissions, it just returns and say never found it, but I need to continue finding it. You're pretty sure you've come across a shell that did not do that correctly. I believe that my appropriate response should be, woohoo! I'm as good as some other shell that has been deployed into production once. Ignore everything else that I've done wrong. Okay, so it's not executable. We need to continue finding things, which means that when find file can't include an option dir entry, this is going to have to be a vec of dir entry, which means we need to collect them together. So for path in paths, now I have a couple choices here. I could essentially do a manual reduce where I create a empty vector and I push them in. That's perfectly fine. I could try to filter. I could filter this potentially. So the continues would be return nones, and then if name this return some dir entry. That might be the way to do this. So can I convert this easily to a filter? So in this case, I get rid of you and I do, I can't own it. So iter, we're going to filter. I don't need to change it. I do need to change it. So we're going to do a filter map. we're going to get a single path. And we're going to collect it into a bunch of dir entries. Okay, so let OK, we create a directory, which is dir entry. Otherwise, we return none. For dir entry and directory, let OK dir entry. Otherwise, return none. Let file name, in case we get the file name. If the file name is this, return some, the dir entry. Otherwise, we have to do a none here, I think. No, return expected enum option. Oh, if that really, I just want you to be some is this, else you're none. So I'm returning you at the end. That is how filter map works, right? I'm returning an option dir entry or dir entry in directory. Let OK in dir entry, else return none. I mean, that's fine, right? What are you yelling at me about? Mismatch types expected enum option something found unit type nothing. What are you yelling at me about? Okay, so I'm getting the filter map and I'm collecting this. Oh, I had a semicolon there? That would cause a problem. Mismatch types expected an enum option found unit type nothing. For loops evaluate to unit type nothing. Wait, are you saying that I'm trying to return the for loop? So I do want to return that. I want to return that. All right, Asitsu, thank you for hanging out with us today. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, is there no other errors in here? It's just right here. For dir entry in directory. So directory is a read dir. I mean, I shouldn't need a semicolon. Okay, why is it trying to return the for? I'm attempting to return early out of the filter map. I guess if I get here, we return a none. Which return none, this becomes a none. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so basically, if we loop through all of these and we don't find anything in this directory, we return none. Okay, so then this collects out. So now find executable paths. So this becomes dir. Oh, I actually just want to do this. So dir entries, find executable files. This will just find one, right? And also this now needs to be find files. Oh, this is going to break so many things. Okay. So dir entries, we find files, name and paths. That still is the same thing. You are right. I don't need a question mark anymore because you're now a vector. But I can't get metadata because now I need to search through these. So now we need to do a for dir entry in dir entries. And essentially it's the rest of stuff in here. Oh, that's not right. Throw you in there. Okay, so we loop through all these dir entries. Metadata, you become just a dir entry. We get the metadata from that. We get the mode. We check to see if it's executable. If it's executable, we return. We do an early return of some dir entries. Otherwise, we continue. I don't need the else because we're doing an earlier return. So we just continue on to here. And if we get to this point, we return a none. And we're not returning dir entries. We're returning the singular dir entry. Okay. How are you still working? I'm now curious. If I cargo run this, let's see. Apparently it runs. Okay, so let's try all the things. So I can echo hello world, whatever, that works. Type echo, type. We can type cd, not found. Oh, is cd a built-in? Cd might be a built-in. Type cat. Okay, that works. Type echo args.sh. Okay, if I echo args.sh, hello, Mac OS X, so weirdness there. ls source ls not found. That's a problem. It should find ls. Because it didn't find ls. Okay, why didn't it find ls? Did it not find ls because something in here? Let's try echoing. We can do as many print lines as we want in here. So print line didn't find name in this directory, or it's not didn't find it. Didn't find executable. Didn't find executable name in dir entry. Okay. All right. So type ls. Ls is not found. Interesting. Ls is not found. I can't help but feel though I'm returning. Well, okay. So the type is should still be working because it's really just trying to find this option, and that's a none. Okay. Can I do like this? Print line finding potential executables in dir entries. Okay, type ls finding potential executables in nothing. Nothing. It didn't find them anywhere. Did I do this wrong? Filter map. I return, yeah, an option. So it should be some. So okay directory, file name, dir entry. So we get the file name. If the name is equal to that, return some dir entry out of here, which then, but then it continues on to the next path. And there can only be one per path, right? And then I'm collecting them together into a vector of dir entries. Okay, so for each path, I'm getting a directory. So that's obviously just a directory. And then we're looking inside of each one for files. And we can only have one file name of the same name in each directory entry. Let's try this print line. Found name. Okay, so if I do that, did not find the name. Type. It did find cat. It did find that. So maybe it's working, but because ls is just a weird thing because I have it aliased, that might be the problem there. And I actually don't remember if it was really finding it before. It's like maybe it's working now. So found name echo args. Okay. So it finds all those and then checks some of these. If it is executable, otherwise continue on and then return none. Okay. Let's try it. That's not really the best name. Okay, so this was stage 1, run a program. Okay, so run IP1, run a program, which is, I think, is that the one? That's the one we're currently working on. Received response, command not found. Yeah, okay, so it expected that, it found command not found. That's cool. Let's see. So in run custom, okay, so we got the file name. Ooh. Okay, so find executable file. So we find the executable file. If let some, run executable error. Okay, so run external executable arguments. That should be fine, except it didn't find the executable file. So we kind of screwed up the find executable file now. It did find custom exe 2627. If it's that, return some that, otherwise go down until it finds and returns none. Yeah. Debugging with this is kind of rough. And if I, let's see, my current one is working locally, right? Cargo run. If I do echo args.sh, hello. Yeah, it is finding the custom command, which is fine. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. That's finding the custom commands. If in their end, they have one path, available executables, custom exe 5148 with David, command not found. Okay. So it attempts to find the files with name and a path, sort of like passes that along. We get the dir entries. We then loop through this. And I guess because nothing else is working, let's just try print line. What are the dir entries? Let's see if that gives us something. Okay, so it found temp cow, custom exe, 8517, which is one of the executables. It passed in Alice, David, Emily. Oh, but then we can see, okay, this is custom exe 8517. It ran, it gave the other things and the signature. So that worked. Well, why does it not sometimes find it? I'm concerned about that. Like it finds every file by name. It checks to see if it's executable. And if it is, it adds it in and then sends it on back. This one is filter and mapping, so it should be giving me a whole bunch of them potentially, but this isn't working. What's going on here? Yeah, we're just getting this command not found, but it is finding the command when I put the debug message in. Or maybe it's because it's random. Oh man, that's tough. And if I do your program, let's try running it the way they run it. I mean, that works the way I expect it to, but I also only have one thing in here. I don't know. My brain isn't working right now to debug this properly. The only thing I can think of is that I don't have find files set up correctly to properly find the files to then check if they're executable. The problem though is that if I put debugs in this, I guess the only thing I can think of is I can put a print line in here. Is just put a print found file is not executable in the find executable files, which should not be called unless I'm searching for executable. But then again, if it's supposed to be executable, I guess if it is, it won't print that out, will it? Okay, so it's the first thing it ran into. Run a program. We got command not found. Program name is custom exe 9748. It didn't find it. It was supposed to find it, but we didn't get this print line. So if we didn't get this print line, that's because, okay, so command not found, it never hit this. And if it never hit this or this, that means it never went into the loop, which means that dir entries is empty. If dir entries is empty, it's because this is empty. It's returning nothing. Okay, attempt to read the directory. If I can't read it, I return none, which should continue on to the next thing. I then loop through this directory, and I get each file in here. I'm checking the first file. That's the problem, is I'm returning none. I don't need to return none. I need to continue because I'm in this loop. Okay, so we fixed a bug where we were only checking the first file in each path. That's a fun one. There, every test passed. We're now running this properly. Okay, excellent. Woo, okay. That was a really stupid bug that I ran into because, so what happened was in find files, I switched it over to a filter map, and in my mind I was going, okay, well, as soon as we go through the loop, we just return none because it's a filter map if we want to continue. And so I returned this to be none, and then I returned the other continues into return none too, not in my mind thinking, well, this is a for loop inside of this loop. We just want to continue on this one and not that one. This is the only one that needed to switch to continue to return none instead of continue. And then it works once I got that done. So everything else is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is good. Basically, run a program is now done, and we can mark this as complete. Oh, that's cool. Did you crash? I think CodeCrafters crashed on me.